What the hell was going on this episode of SmackDown? I really just don't need to know. What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, place to be children, Mr. 80. Better give you guys another SmackDown review. Friday Night SmackDown from August 14th, 2020. So here's the thing. So this thing of SmackDown was all over the place. And I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it neither. But we started out with Big E taking on John Morrison, since he beat The Miz. And as the match about to start, the lights start flickering. And then you hear Corey raise the Michael, it's retribution. So they take off, and 20 urban youths, I can't say the other one, 20, they just come out of nowhere. I'm like, why is there so many of them now? So I'm thinking they put so many of them because people were probably starting to guess who these people were and saying like, well, who's missing, who it could be, blah, blah, blah. It's like 20 so of them came out, surrounded the ring, and then Big E started beating them up, and he started beating up John Morrison. They gave chop block to Big E, and then the Miz comes to check on John Morrison and asks if you're okay. Goes to a commercial. We come back. Big E's backstage along with John Morrison and the rest of the jobbers. Not saying they're jobbers. I don't care about them. Lucha House Party, Drew Gulak, Shinsuke and Cesaro. And Corbin comes back and says, we need a leader, somebody who can lead us through, because we're being under attack right now. Then Biggie gets up in his preacher voice and everything, and lets everybody know that we're not going to fall victim to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Foot Clan. We're going to stand up to them, and then we're going to show them that, wow, we got the power of positivity. And then Sheamus comes up and says, nobody really cares about what Big E has to think, especially not Shorty G in the back. I gave him the bro kick and stuff like that. And they only attack you because they don't attack me because they're scared of me. Big E said, but the one that you forgot is, he said, because Sheamus was like, you don't have Woods, you don't have Kofi anymore. But Big E says, one thing you understand is that I'm not alone. So that's going to probably be going into a rivalry pre-show at SummerSlam at best, I'm guessing. This may be a little bit out of order. Grand League is taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, and this since we had Cesaro versus Lindsay Dorado last week, so now we had this matchup, pretty decent matchup. There is as Grand League is going up to do his round around the ropes thing, Cesaro gets up on there, distracts him, and Cesaro hits Shinsuke Nakamura hits him with a knee coming on down. But then we get the return of Kalisto, looking very much in shape. Like these luchadors, when they leave and they come back like Rey Mysterio or something like that, they can be getting cut. So they come, and then Kalisto gives Cesaro a tornado DDT out on the ram, and then Grand Melee does a springboard elbow drop to Shinsuke Nakamura and picks up the win here. So it looks like we're going to get Lucha House Party taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. That match most likely will be on the pre-show at best. We got a tri-brand battle royal going on, and the winner's going to take on Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And they're out there, her Sasha Banks out there trying to read the cards, and that's probably why I skipped it, because that was next. And when she was reading the cards, she said, wait, but I think this one's wrong. Asuka comes out. I'm like, why is Asuka out here? She already has a match with Sasha Banks on Raw for the Raw Women's Championship. Well, she's in the Battle Royal, and we have Bianca Belair in the Battle Royal. We have Naomi. We have Shayna Baszler. We have Tamina. We have Tegan Nox. We have Shotzi Blackheart. We have all these different kinds of women. So I'm looking in there, and I'm distracted because I'm like, WWE, don't do this. Don't do this. Because there's one matter that needs a chance. So they had Bianca Belair and Tamina had a stare down, which got nobody excited. And not because on Bianca's behalf. And then Tegan Nox is about to get side slammed by Shayna Baszler, who loses her balance and almost drops her on her head, but the rope save her. Thank God. Then Tegan Nox is eliminated. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm doing the count, and I'm like, Shayna Baszler and Asuka, the last two left? So they're in fighting. Asuka gets knocked over the ropes, but she's on the apron. Bayley Sasha Banks is right there. She gives him a running knee and knocks them both down. Shayna Baszler hits Asuka, but she falls and steps on Bayley Sasha Banks, so she's not eliminated. So she comes back in, and then Shayna Banks tries to get a caribou that clutches choking her, but then Asuka takes Shayna Baszler and then drags her over the top rope and eliminates her, and Asuka wins. And I was like, why? So now at SummerSlam we have Asuka taking on Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. Why? All these women that came in there. No disrespect to Asuka, because Asuka was a woman that was overlooked also. But I understand they're doing this whole Bayley and Sasha storyline. But there's so many women that you can build up on this card to give some validation. This is the thing that everyone was talking about. There's nothing that they don't look at it as if you're not fixing for a championship, there's no other rivalry. The only other rivalry that's dealing with women right now is Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And I'm like, that's a problem. So Asuka has 2 championship matches. So it looks like she's going to win one and not win the other one, which is going to cause a rip between Bayley and Sasha Banks, and start that whole thing. So that's probably what's going to happen here. But still, I'm like, when you have Bianca Belair in the matchup, when you have Naomi in the matchup, when you have Shayna Baszler in the matchup, when you have Tegan Nox in the matchup, you have all those women who have been either in championship matches or have been champions before that could really deserve to use this kind of opportunity to give them the showcase of that. And I'm just like, especially on the big stage at SummerSlam, and I'm like, it kind of felt like a waste to me. So AJ Styles is out with a whiteboard, with a board in the ring to present his case for the Intercontinental Championship, and who should face AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Meanwhile, there's this big tall guy in the back with a suit on. Me being a wrestling fan, I was just like, I know that guy. I'm sitting there because he was like in the background in the dark, and I'm watching. I'm like, I know who this guy is. Why am I not? I'm like, let me see him a little bit more, but I know exactly who this guy is. And then as AJ Styles talking, I'm just like, that looks a lot like Joseph Park. That looks like a lot like Joseph Park. I get a text saying, Abyss is on SmackDown. I said, I knew that was Joseph Park. When the hell? I know Abyss worked backstage, but I'm like, I thought that thing been over. So we got Abyss and AJ Styles on the WWE ring. So AJ Styles shows the board saying, at the top of his list is AJ Styles, and below the list is nobody, because nobody's worthy enough. Then Jeff Hardy comes out. Looks like the rumors are true. Jeff Hardy saying, look, I never truly got a chance to go up for the Intercontinental Championship in the tournament because Sheamus took me out of it. So now I want a chance at the Intercontinental Championship because you're phenomenal. I have great respect for you. And AJ Styles says, you know what? You're phenomenal too. I have respect for you as well. He said, and Jeff Hardy was saying, yo, AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy would be awesome. I mean, it would be an awesome matchup, and it would be even better. I mean, they had matches at TNA, I believe. It was a whole TNA ring in there today. But AJ Styles says, absolutely not, you're not getting a match. You got to earn this, son. So then Jeff Hardy is beating him up, and then to knock AJ out the ring. So obviously, we're going to get a Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles match coming next week. Is it for the title? I'm not sure. But I think it'll probably be one of the things where AJ cheats to win, that we'll do it again at SummerSlam. Mandy Rose is backstage with the promo, talk about Sonya Deville saying, look, man, you want to try to make me ugly and everything that you know how long I get it. I've been called the Barbie doll, just a pretty face, my blonde hair and all that stuff like that. But I had to work 3 jobs to save up money to, to keep food on the table, and then you was with me basically tough enough where I did hard work to get here, and I'm tired of hearing it. Hurts me that I hear all this stuff. It hurts me that she has to hear all the evil fucking Marie shit, okay? Because I always said Mandy Rose was the 2.0 of evil fucking Marie. So now since that is gone, I'm like, okay, so she get it. She says, but you trying to make me ugly? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I challenge you to a match at SummerSlam, hair versus hair. So Sonya Deville responds and says, oh, I'm surprised that just cutting your hair just got you out of a little bit of aggression. And then you don't understand what you really get yourself into. So she gladly accepts her challenge. So it's going to be a hair versus hair matchup between Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. So Mandy got her hair cut. It's cut down short. I can't imagine Mandy Rose with short hair. She doesn't have that short hair girl look. But I think Sonya Deville may be the one, because it's retribution, no pun intended, but Sonya Deville is probably going to be the one losing to get her haircut. I could see her being the one getting a haircut, but then again, I didn't see Kurt Angle losing his hair, but look we got now. Alexa Bliss is getting interviewed, talk about her friendship with Braun Strowman, since the mixed match challenge, and they show all the highlights from there and everything like that, because it's really bothering her about how the Fiend attacked her, and then Braun Strowman says, I don't care about Alexa Bliss, and that like really hurt her. And I'm like, this is where we're going with this storyline. Speaking of going with the storylines, they interview Matt Riddle because his SmackDown run has been great, and talk about he has to keep his head on the swivel from King Corbin. And then Shorty G comes up and says, look, I have a family, and money like that goes a long way, and I didn't want to do it that or try to injure another superstar, so I'm coming to you man to man right now to apologize. He's like, hey bro, it's cool, all you gotta know is you want to go one-on-one, just gotta ask the bro. Meanwhile, how do you, and as he's about to ask, Corbin just comes out, hits him right there in the back, tries to keep it held and swivel, but he looks at Gable and make it seem like, hey, thank you for the setup. Like, you talking to him, and then I got to you know, knock him out, stuff like that. So it's still like he's trying to play into making Gable like a heel, but Gable's still trying to play that face role. So I know we're going to get Gable versus Matt Riddle probably next week or whatever the case may be. But I don't like it because it has King Corbin, and I just don't like anything King Corbin does. So meanwhile, Shorty G's on his way out to the ring to face Sheamus. So the match with Sheamus is okay. I mean, he goes for the ankle lock, he gets out of it, bro kick, and it's kind of done. It's not a glorified squash match, but it's a very quick matchup. Sheamus with the big win here. So now, since we didn't start off the night with Big E versus John Morrison, we're going to finish the night, sort of, with Big E versus John Morrison. Big E comes out there with the tape on his leg. So now they're trying to build sympathy that Big E's injured now, and he's going to get John Morrison. John Morrison's focusing on the leg, of course. And then now, all of a sudden, the lights start flickering again. So what do? They have all the superstars, the men and the women, since this group is full of men and women, come out and surround the ring, kind of like a lumberjack match, to protect, to be the security for Retribution, even though they had security out there. So I guess their security sucks. So that doesn't stop Retribution, because we see backstage that they are wreaking havoc. They take out the referees, they take out the officials, they're throwing papers, they take the spray paint and spray WWE on there and have it cross through and everything like that. And I'm like, it looked very cheesy and stupid. And so now they're all in the ring. Nobody knows what's going on. Corey Graves gives the note to the referee and says, hey, get everybody back there. When they get back there, they look like, oh, they looked appalled. They're like, what's going on? Oh my God, did they just spray paint WWE with a cross going through it? How dare they were really trying to sell it like they destroyed some valuable shit. And I'm like, did they go back there? The referees that they supposedly knocked out like they were taking a nap. So we're back in the ring, still going with Big E and John Morrison, and then he tried to go for the big ending. John Morrison kicks out, or he gets out of it, but then he gets the stretch muffler finisher, and then John Morrison taps out, and then Big E wins again. You know, so taunting Corey Graves and everything. That you know, he's ready for this, and we're not done yet, because all of a sudden Braun Strowman comes out. And first of all, I jump ahead of myself. As Big E gets out the ring, he gets bro kicked by Sheamus. So Sheamus takes out Big E, and then as he's trying to pick him up to put him in the ring, Braun Strowman comes out and he just quietly walks away. So Strowman supporting a new bald head style. Unless he did this last week and I missed it, but yeah, he cut his hair off, and then now he has this evil look. He wants to destroy the Fiend. He does, you know. I don't like the way Braun Strowman does promos. I don't mind what he's saying most of the time. It's the way he delivers it. His mouth is like he's making love to the mic, like the Luther Vandross Here and Now. You know, type of thing. He's like, nah. He's like making too much close to the mic, and then he got this whole little, you know, head now, something like that, like he's about to battle right Fife Dog or something like that. I don't understand the way that Braun Strowman delivers his promos, but I'm not mad at what he's saying. So, after I got through all the muffles of him wanting the Fiend, Alexa Bliss comes out, and she's talking to him, but he's not even looking at her. And she says, I won't talk to us about our friendship, but what's been going on? I thought, you know, we was cool, and then why don't you say you don't care about me? So, she said, look at me when I'm talking to you. And then, he said, I don't care about you. And he said, it's all about the Fiend. She said, well, if you want the Fiend, be careful what you wish for. So then she slaps him. And the way the slap comes off, it looks like the most terrible edit. Because you could tell this segment was edited bad. Okay? Because the first I was like, did they connect? And then she started slapping him over and over again. And then Braun Strowman picks her up. And he about the military presser. And then all of a sudden, the Fiend by the comes. He goes to all four corners of the ring like he's Hogan, and then he still has Alexa Bliss in the military press. And then all of a sudden, he just launches her in the air, and then the lights go black. Clearly, she lands on the crash pad because when the lights come back on, the Fiend is there. Alexa Bliss is down on the mat. She's not even selling the fact that she got tossed like 10 feet in the air and came crashing down the mat at all. So she's just like, ow. No, she should be acting like she's dead. Or she doesn't. Then Braun Strowman's on the screen doing his crazy laugh, and then the Fiend is in the ring doing his laugh. She's like, you outsmart me this time, blah, 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 blah. And that's how SmackDown ends. They already killed this kind of feud before it really even got started. And I'm like, the whole thing with Alexa Bliss, why even add that in there to this? She doesn't need to be in there. And on top of that, y'all brought her. Y'all didn't let the story with her build. She got attacked by the Fiend. Everybody that has got attacked by the Fiend, every legend has disappeared. Has gone off from Finn Balor to Kane to Jerry Lawler to Mick Foley to Kurt Angle to John Cena. This has all happened. So why is Alexa Bliss gets mandible clawed by the Fiend and she's brought back next week? You even give her a chance to breathe. Like, keep off a TV for a week. Give her a chance for us to miss her. Then on top of that, when she came back here and did this interview, I did the whole touchy-feely thing with the Fiend. That was pointless. And now Braun just tosses her up in the air, launches her up, and she does a bad job selling that. I don't know what was happening. It was all over the place. It was like bad, and everything was like rushed together. And I was just like, I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish. So for me, SmackDown gets a thumbs down for me this week because I'm so confused by it. It was just an indifferent kind of show, and the whole day Retribution, they let the air out the balloon with Retribution already. I'm already tired of Retribution before they even show who they were. I'm already sick of this stable before they ever show what they were. And if they think about doing a SummerSlam thing like they did with the Nexus, kill that idea right now because you can't repeat that. So post a comments down below how you guys like SmackDown, and hit the like button because it really helps out the video. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE and wrestling videos and content right here on NC Studios. So once again, this is NC, a place to be. Children Mustang, and their coalition is out.